Welcome back today. In this video, we are diving into the fascinating world of British coin collecting and exploring the top 6 most valuable coins: the 20 pence, 1 shilling, 2 pence, 10 new pence, 1 penny, and 50 new pence. Each of these coins has unique variations, mint marks, and conditions that make them highly sought after in the collector's market. Let's go through each coin in detail and uncover what makes them special, rare, and valuable. Let's get started. First up, the United Kingdom's 1984 20 pence coin. At first glance, it may look like just another everyday coin, but for collectors, each issue year of the 20 pence holds its own significance. We'll explore its history, unique features, rarity, current market value in dollars, and give you some helpful tips if you're hoping to add one of these coins to your collection. The 20 pence coin was first introduced in the United Kingdom in 1982, during the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, as part of the decimal coinage system that replaced the old pounds, shillings, and pence structure in 1971. The 20p filled the gap between the 10p and 50p coins, offering a convenient denomination for everyday use. The 1984 issue was only the third year of production for this coin, and although millions were struck for circulation, many have since been lost, worn down, or discarded, making high-quality survivors increasingly desirable among collectors. The 1984 20 pence coin is a 7-sided heptagon, a distinctive shape designed to make it instantly recognizable by touch. On the obverse, it features the second definitive portrait of Queen Elizabeth II by sculptor Arnold Machin, where the Queen is shown wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. The reverse, designed by William Gardner, shows the crowned Tudor rose, a symbol of English heritage and monarchy. This combination of iconic British imagery and unique design makes the coin particularly appealing to both casual collectors and serious numismatists. While the 1984 20 pence coin is not considered one of the rarest in British coinage, its age and circulation history mean that most examples today are heavily worn or damaged. Collectors are often interested even in these circulation-grade or damaged coins, since they represent early years of the denomination. Though pristine, uncirculated examples are naturally worth the most. Even worn coins find demand because they help fill a chronological gap in a collection. For many hobbyists, owning a 1984 20 pence in any condition is a must, simply because of its role in the early era of decimalisation. So, how much is a 1984 20 pence worth today? In circulation condition, meaning worn or lightly damaged, these coins typically sell for around $331,000 on online marketplaces or at local coin shops. Well-preserved examples in fine to very fine condition may fetch $124,000, while uncirculated coins, or those graded by a professional service, can climb even higher, sometimes up to $20 or more, depending on the buyer's interest. While not a life-changing amount, the value is still significantly higher than the face value of just 20 pence, making it a rewarding find. If you're looking to add a 1984 20 pence to your collection, pay attention to the coin's condition first. Look for examples with minimal scratches and a strong definition in the Queen's portrait and the Tudor rose. Always store your coins in protective sleeves or cases to avoid further wear. Also, consider buying from reputable dealers or coin fairs, where authenticity and condition are better assured. Finally, remember that collecting isn't just about the monetary value, it's about appreciating the history, design, and story behind each coin. The 1984 United Kingdom 20 pence coin is a fascinating piece of modern British numismatic history. Though common in circulation years ago, time has made collectible examples scarcer, especially in higher grades. Whether you find one in your change, purchase one online, or inherit one from a family collection, it's a small but meaningful reminder of the UK's coinage heritage. Next up, the United Kingdom 1 shilling coin from 1948. While at first glance this coin may appear like an ordinary circulation piece, its historical background, design features, and collector demand make it stand out. In this video, we'll explore its origins, unique features, rarity in different conditions, and most importantly, its current market value in dollars. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just beginning your coin journey, this is one coin worth knowing about. The 1948 1 shilling belongs to the post-war era of British coinage. Britain was still recovering from World War II, and the economy was under strain. At this time, the shilling was an important part of the UK's currency system, valued at 1/20th of a pound sterling. The 1948 issue came during the reign of King George VI, the father of Queen Elizabeth II, making it a historically significant piece. Interestingly, 1948 was also a year when the UK had stopped using silver in coin production, meaning shillings of this period were struck in cupronickel, an alloy of copper and nickel, rather than precious metal. This makes them durable and long-lasting, but less valuable in bullion terms. The coin carries the portrait of King George VI on the obverse, designed by Thomas Humphrey Paget, which was widely admired for its realistic likeness. On the reverse, two distinct designs existed in circulation: the English version, which featured the crowned lion standing on the royal crown, and the Scottish version, which showcased a crowned lion rampant with a double border. Both versions carry the inscription FID Def, short for Fide Defensor, meaning Defender of the Faith, along with the date 1948 and the denomination 1 shilling. Collectors often enjoy finding both variations, making the 1948 shilling an interesting year to study. In terms of rarity, the 1948 1 shilling is not considered extremely scarce since millions were struck for circulation. However, demand from collectors remained steady, particularly for coins in fine to uncirculated condition. Even damaged or heavily circulated examples still find buyers, often because collectors seek a representative piece to complete a George VI shilling set. Coins in damaged condition, such as those with scratches, bends, or corrosion, lose much of their premium but still carry historical and educational value. Beginner collectors especially look for these affordable examples, making them consistently tradable in the marketplace. When it comes to value, condition plays the biggest role. A 1948 1 shilling in heavily worn or damaged condition may only sell for around $214,000, mainly as a collector's filler coin. In fine condition, which shows moderate wear but still retains most details, the value can rise to about $10. Higher grades, such as very fine or extremely fine, often command between $8 and. Meanwhile, uncirculated and well-preserved specimens with sharp details can fetch $20 more at auctions, depending on whether it's the English or Scottish reverse. While not a high-value rarity, it remains an affordable and attractive coin with strong historical appeal. If you're looking to add a 1948 shilling to your collection, always pay attention to condition and design variety. Try to obtain both the English and Scottish reverses, as having both adds depth to your collection. When purchasing, inspect the coin for signs of cleaning, since improperly cleaned coins lose value. For investment-minded collectors, aim for higher-grade coins, as these are the most desirable and likely to appreciate in value over time. On the other hand, beginners can start with fine or even damaged examples to get familiar with the series without spending too much. And of course, always buy from trusted dealers or auction houses to ensure authenticity. To sum it up, the 1948 United Kingdom 1 shilling may not be the rarest coin out there, but it carries an undeniable charm rooted in history, design, and collectability. With values ranging from just a couple of dollars in poor condition to over $20 in mint state, it's accessible to collectors of all levels. Whether you're attracted to its post-war heritage, the iconic portrait of George VI, or the chance to own both English and Scottish reverses, the 1948 shilling is a coin worth adding to your collection. Next up, the United Kingdom 2 pence coin from 1999. While at first glance it may look like just another ordinary coin in circulation, every coin has its own history, unique features, and potential collector value. We'll explore the background of this coin, its design details, its rarity in different conditions, and most importantly, the current market value in US dollars. So, if you have a 1999 2 pence in your coin jar, stay tuned. You might just discover something interesting about its place in the numismatic world. The 2 pence coin was first introduced in the United Kingdom in 1971 as part of the decimalisation of the currency system. By 1999, the 2 pence had already become a staple in everyday British currency, widely used for small purchases and change. This particular year falls under the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, and like many modern coins, it was mass-produced for circulation. However, each year of issue tells a different story about mintage numbers, the economy, and collector interest. The 1999 2 pence was struck at the Royal Mint and distributed across the UK, making it a very common coin for everyday use. The obverse of the 1999 2 pence features the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley. This portrait was introduced in 1998 and remained on coins until 2015, giving the coin a relatively modern appearance compared to earlier issues. The reverse side carries the traditional emblem of the badge of the Prince of Wales, a plume of 3 ostrich feathers encircled by a coronet, along with the motto ICHDN, which translates to I serve. Below the design, the words 2 pence are clearly inscribed. The coin is made of copper-plated steel, giving it its distinct reddish-brown tone when freshly minted, though most circulated examples today show signs of wear and tarnish. Now, let's talk about rarity. The 1999 2 pence coin is not considered a rare issue. Millions were struck, and many remain in circulation to this day. Because of this, collectors generally do not consider it a scarce find, especially in circulated condition. Damaged or heavily worn examples hold little to no collector premium, as they are still readily available. Unlike error coins or special low mintage issues, the 1999 2 pence is largely sought after only by beginner collectors or those looking to build a complete year set of UK decimal coins. In terms of auction market value, circulated examples of the 1999 2 pence typically sell for their face value, which is 2 pence in the UK. When converted to US dollars, this equals only a few cents. Even in fine circulated condition, the coin's value remains at or near its nominal worth. On online auction sites, bulk lots of circulated 2 pence coins, including the 1999 issue, may sell for slightly above face value due to shipping costs or collector curiosity. However, an individual circulated coin in fine condition generally trades for no more than $113,000. For collectors, the key takeaway here is that while the 1999 2 pence coin isn't rare, it still has value as part of a broader collection. Completing a full run of 2 pence coins from 1971 onwards can be a fun and rewarding project, and this coin certainly fits into that journey. If you're new to coin collecting, holding onto pieces like the 1999 2 pence is a great way to learn about designs, minting changes, and materials used over the years. Always look out for error varieties, proof versions, or coins in uncirculated condition, as these can sometimes command higher prices. In conclusion, the United Kingdom 2 pence coin from 1999 in circulated fine condition is a very common coin with minimal market value, usually worth only a few cents in US dollars. While it may not be rare or highly valuable, it still plays an important role in the story of British currency and offers beginner collectors a chance to start building their sets. Remember, not every coin needs to be worth thousands of dollars to be worth collecting. The history and journey behind each piece are what make numismatics such a fascinating hobby. Next up, the United Kingdom 10 new pence coin from 1968. While it may look like just another everyday coin, its background, historical context, and collector interest make it worth a closer look. In this video, we'll explore its history, design, rarity, and auction value in circulation condition. If you've got one of these coins lying around, you might want to stick around until the end, because its story is more interesting than you might think. The 1968 10 new pence coin holds a special place in British numismatics because it was among the very first decimal coins issued before the full decimalisation of the United Kingdom's currency in 1971. In preparation for the switch from the old pounds, shillings, and pence system, new decimal coins were gradually introduced into circulation to get the public used to the change. The 10 new pence coin was equal in value to the old florin, or 2 shillings, meaning it was familiar to people during the transition. These coins were struck in cupra nickel, with a weight of 11.31 grams and a diameter of 28.5 millimeters, noticeably larger than today's modern 10p pieces. The obverse of the coin features the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin. This was the second definitive portrait of Her Majesty used on coinage, showing her wearing the tiara given to her by the Queen Mother. On the reverse, designed by Christopher Ironside, is the crowned lion, a strong symbol of British tradition and power. Its bold and simple design made it instantly recognizable, and because it matched the value of the florin, people quickly adapted to using it. Now, when it comes to rarity, the 1968 10 new pence is not considered extremely rare, as it was produced in high numbers. Over 336 million were minted. However, many of these coins were heavily circulated, meaning that today, finding one in excellent condition is not easy. In damaged or heavily worn condition, most collectors are not willing to pay premium prices, since supply is still relatively high. Still, for beginner collectors or those creating a set of pre-decimalization coins, Even a circulated example can hold sentimental and educational value in terms of market value. A 1968 10 new pence coin in standard circulation condition typically sells for $632,000 on the auction market, depending on its level of wear. Coins in heavily damaged condition may only trade for their face value, essentially as novelty items. On the other hand, if you happen to come across a coin in uncirculated or proof condition, it could fetch between $526,000, especially if it comes with original mint packaging. For most collectors, the value is not in the dollar amount, but in its role as one of the first decimal coins in British history. If you're considering collecting coins like the 1968 10 new pence, here are a few tips. First, always look for condition. The sharper the details and fewer the scratches, the higher the value. Second, store your coins properly in coin flips or albums to prevent further wear and corrosion. Third, try to collect the entire set of early decimal coins from the late 1960s and early 1970s, as complete sets tend to hold more value than individual coins. And finally, always keep an eye on auction sites, as occasionally, coins in exceptional condition or with minting errors can command surprisingly higher prices. To wrap things up, the United Kingdom's 1968 10 new pence coin is not a rare treasure worth thousands, but it is an important and fascinating part of Britain's monetary history. Its introduction marked the beginning of the decimal era, and even in circulation condition, it tells a story of change and transition in the late 20th century. While its auction market value in dollars remains modest, it continues to capture the interest of collectors worldwide. Next up, the United Kingdom 1 penny from 1917, especially in damaged condition. While collectors often pursue pristine or uncirculated coins, damaged pieces also have their place in the numismatic market. Surprisingly, even coins that have seen heavy circulation or suffered wear and tear can attract demand depending on their historical background, rarity, and collector interest. In this video, we'll explore the history, features, rarity, and the current auction market value of the 1917 1 penny, even when it's not in perfect shape. The 1 penny coin of 1917 was minted during the reign of King George V, a period marked by the turbulence of World War I. The Royal Mint produced these bronze pennies in large numbers to support the growing demand for coinage during wartime Britain. The design itself had been in circulation since 1860, with only minor modifications over the decades, making it one of the most recognizable coins in the British monetary system. By 1917, millions of pennies were struck, yet not all survived the test of time in good condition. Many coins from this era experienced harsh handling, wartime circulation, and environmental exposure, which left them in damaged or worn states. Despite being common in the year of issue, surviving examples from 1917 today, especially those with distinctive damage or patina, carry an interesting place in the collector's world. The 1917 1 penny features the left-facing portrait of King George V on the obverse, designed by Bertram McKennell. The king's portrait is surrounded by the Latin inscription Georgievs V Dei Gra, Brit, OMN, Rex Fid, Def And Imp, meaning George V, by the grace of God, King of all the Britons, Defender of the Faith, Emperor of India. On the reverse, the iconic seated figure of Britannia is displayed, holding a trident and shield, symbolizing Britain's naval power and imperial strength. The coin is made of bronze, measuring 30.8 millimeters in diameter and weighing 9.4 grams. Even in damaged condition, these features remain recognizable, and many collectors appreciate the way time has marked these coins, through scratches, corrosion, dents, or uneven surfaces, which tells a unique story of its journey over more than a century. At first glance, one might assume that a damaged coin holds no collector value. However, that's not always the case. While uncirculated or near-mint examples of the 1917 penny are more sought after, damaged coins still hold value due to their age, history, and collectability. Many new collectors, or those working on a date run of pennies from George V's reign, often look for affordable entries into the series. A damaged 1917 penny provides just that, an accessible way to own a piece of World War I-era Britain without spending a fortune. Rarity also plays a role here. Although the 1917 penny is not among the rarest British coins, demand continues to persist in international markets. Collectors in the United States, Canada, and Australia, for example, often purchase damaged or lower-grade coins simply because they enjoy the historical connection in terms of market value. A 1917 1 penny in damaged condition usually does not command extremely high prices, but it can still attract competitive bidding in auctions. Typically, such coins may sell anywhere between $332,000, depending on the extent of the damage, the level of detail still visible, and overall eye appeal. If the coin retains strong design elements despite corrosion or scratches, it might fetch closer to the higher end of this range. More heavily worn or corroded examples may remain at the lower end. However, collectors should note that pristine, high-grade specimens of the 1917 penny can sell for much more, often ranging from $125,000 at auction, depending on grading. This stark difference highlights how condition significantly impacts value, yet even damaged examples have their niche among collectors. For those interested in collecting coins like the 1917 1 penny in damaged condition, there are a few key tips to keep in mind. First, always handle the coin carefully, even if it's already worn or scratched, since further mishandling could reduce its collectible value. Second, learn to identify original damage from improper cleaning or tampering, as artificially polished coins are less desirable than naturally aged ones. Third, compare market prices regularly by checking auction sites, coin dealer listings, and online forums to ensure you're paying a fair price. Finally, remember that damaged coins can serve as excellent placeholders in a collection until a better quality example is found, and they also provide a budget-friendly way to enjoy numismatics without the need for large investments. In conclusion, the United Kingdom 1 penny of 1917 remains a fascinating piece of history, even in damaged condition. Its connection to King George VI's reign and World War I makes it a tangible link to Britain's past. While pristine examples attract higher values, damaged pennies still hold collector interest, offering affordable entry points into the world of numismatics. Auction market values range from just a few dollars to modestly higher amounts depending on condition, but beyond its price, the true worth of this coin lies in the story it carries. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just beginning your journey, the 1917 1 penny is a coin worth learning about and owning, even with its flaws. Next up, the United Kingdom 50 new pence coin from 1980, specifically in very fine condition. While many coins from this era are still relatively common, there are certain details that make them highly collectible, and in some cases, surprisingly valuable. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear understanding of its background, rarity, and how much it could fetch at auction in US dollars. The 50 new pence coin was first introduced in 1969 as part of the UK's decimalisation process, which officially took effect in 1971. The 1980 issue belongs to the first series of large-sized 50p coins, which were thicker and heavier than the modern 50p pieces we use today. These large coins remained in circulation until 1997, when the Royal Mint reduced the size to the familiar, smaller shape we recognise now. The 1980 50 new pence was struck at a time when Britain's coinage was undergoing subtle but important shifts, making this piece a fascinating snapshot of UK monetary history. In the obverse of the 1980 50 new pence, we see the second crown portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin. This portrait was used from 1968 until 1984, showing a youthful queen wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. On the reverse, the coin features a seated figure of Britannia, holding a trident and shield beside a lion, a design by Christopher Ironside. This image had long been a symbol of British strength and maritime power, and it gave the coin a distinctly traditional and nationalistic feel. Its seven-sided, equilateral curved heptagon shape is also a standout feature that makes the 50 new pence instantly recognisable. When it comes to rarity, the 1980 50 new pence is not among the scarcest UK coins, as millions were minted for circulation. However, the condition plays a massive role in determining value. Coins in very fine condition, meaning they have light wear but clear details, are more desirable to collectors than heavily worn or damaged examples. That said, even coins with scratches, dents, or circulation damage still attract interest, since some collectors aim to complete year sets without worrying about pristine quality. The rarity factor becomes more significant in uncirculated or proof issues, but circulation-grade coins in decent shape, like very fine, are still actively collected. Now, let's talk about value. A standard 1980 50 new pence in very fine condition usually sells for around $631,000 in the collector's market. However, Prices can vary depending on demand, the coin's eye appeal, and whether it appears in bulk sales or individual auctions. Coins in extremely fine or uncirculated grades can command higher prices, often in the $322,000 range. Proof versions, struck specially for collectors, can sell for even more, sometimes reaching $114,000 depending on packaging and presentation. While this isn't the rarest coin in the UK series, its historic design and large size make it a popular piece to keep or trade. If you're interested in collecting the 1950 new pence, here are a few tips. First, always check the coin's condition under good lighting. Details like Britannia's shield or Queen Elizabeth's hair can tell you whether the coin is very fine, extremely fine, or uncirculated. Second, if possible, store your coins in protective sleeves or holders to avoid further wear, as condition heavily influences long-term value. Third, keep an eye on online auctions and numismatic fairs, where you might find both circulation and proof examples. Finally, consider collecting the entire large-size 50p series from 1969 to 1997 together. They make a beautiful and historically rich set to sum up. The 1950 new pence coin in very fine condition may not be the rarest of British coins, but it is a valuable collectible for anyone interested in the history of UK coinage. With a market value of a few dollars, it's an affordable piece that still carries great historical and aesthetic significance. Whether you're building a collection for fun, for investment, or simply for the joy of history, this coin has a special place in the story of British money. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below if you've got a 1950 new pence in your collection.